I'm sick with this. It's over. It's time to kill off the old version of myself. All right, so what I figured out is that in order to get unstuck from where you're at and to stop making these excuses, you must kill off the old version of yourself. So this is the process that I've gone through myself and continue to go through. And so I want to lay it out for you so that you can completely understand how you're behaving and how you can actually change and start getting rid of these excuses that are holding you back in every area of your life. So if we're talking about yourself, talking about your work, talking about your relationships, talking about your adventure. All right. So first, you have to understand you're this big circle, right? Inside that circle, there is all of your emotions, the way that you think right now, the way you perceive the world right now, your circumstances that you've been through, everything in the past that you're still attached to, past traumas, your victories, things that you have anxiety about right now. All these things make up you, right? And now when you think about those things, they are a complicated equation that's already put together. There's nothing you can do about that equation that's put together that way. Now, that equation has already figured out how you're going to make every decision that you make. And so just think about this. You're headed toward a decision right now for something. There's thousands of them that happen every day. You are a big ball of momentum headed toward that decision. That ball of momentum has your equation inside of it. All right. So it already knows what decision it's going to make. So that's why there's not enough willpower or whatever else that all the gurus are telling you to have, because when you get to that decision, it's too late. It's already been made for you. Okay. So what most people have trouble with is actually changing that equation. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is learn how to change that equation. And so there's a few things that I've talked to you about in past episodes about how you create your morning routine and things like this that allow you to have a little more time with yourself. But some of that stuff can just sound like little foo-foo until you actually go and do it and see what kind of difference it makes in your life. So if you learn how to change this equation by the way that you think and releasing your attachments to the past and realizing that there is going to have to be some sacrifice, that's where the difference begins. Right now, what happens is you're heading towards these decisions and you're wanting to make this change without making any sacrifice. That's the big problem. So the whole point of me asking you the question in past episodes is, what are you willing to struggle for? Because there must be sacrifice and there must be struggle toward the new thing that you want, which is actually a good thing. But when we hear sacrifice and we hear struggle, that turns into, oh, we have to give something up or something's going to be taken away from me. Well, what's being taken away right now is time. And so my challenge for you is to understand that the best thing you can do right now is choose where you're willing to sacrifice and intentionally struggle for what it is that you want. So now, when you do that, when you make those choices, that's when the equation starts to change. That's when you start to think different. That's when all of a sudden you think differently about your circumstances. You're not a victim to them anymore. These past attachments that have controlled you, they don't have as much control anymore. You understand more of your victories and you start to appreciate yourself more. You're changing the equation. Now, that new equation allows you to make different choices when it's time to make a decision, right? Because again, you've changed your own mathematic formula. So when you get there, you're going to make different decisions. So I really want you to take this in. Choose what you're willing to struggle for. And the only way you can do that is to know what you want. You must know yourself. And so if you've had any struggles getting to where you want to go in any area of your life, if you've struggled with relationships, then there's probably a reason why. There's something, you have a responsibility in it. There's something that you can change or sacrifice about what you're doing in relationships that would make your relationships better. If you're not doing work you love, then there's something you can sacrifice to start doing more work that you love, to take that big leap, to start that company, to do something that you've been thinking about, but you haven't stepped out there and done it yet. If you are not adventuring enough, right? All you do is work, come home, take care of the kids, cook dinner, go to work the next day and do it all over again, then adding some adventure to your life, there's going to have to be some sacrifice. You might have to spend a little time away from home. You might have to not do the dishes that day because instead you go take a hike. These are the ways that you have to think, and it starts to change the equation. It starts to change the type of momentum that you are heading toward the next decision you're about to make. Okay, so this is how you kill off the old version of yourself, which is very important and a process that goes on for a lifetime in order to keep evolving into the new version that you want. So here's my challenge for you. Stop BSing yourself. Quit thinking that you can just stay the same and all of a sudden tomorrow new things are going to show up, right? That's insanity. We got to stop it. Choose your sacrifice. Be willing to intentionally struggle, and then change the way that you're heading toward the decisions that you keep making every day. Because the next day is coming, hopefully. And if it gets here, wouldn't it be powerful if you operated inside of it differently?